Hello there. Several people have asked about this little fox, how I made him look so vital, so alive. It's this little chap from Frantic Stamper company. We can't order directly from a Frantic Stamper in the UK, but there's a company here called Dies to Die For, who obviously can. So I bought this from Dies to Die For, and I think he's an absolute cutie. As you can see from this picture, there are various parts of him that do actually pop out. They are cut right through. Whereas with, for example, some of the gummier pandais, there would be an indentation or a cut most of the way around, but a little bit just holding it in place that if you wanted to take out, you could just snip, which does actually make things a bit easier than this one because you do have to kind of get them back in place. So I'll show you what I did. To give him some dimension, I layered him in sections. I started off cutting out just the chap himself, and then whilst the card was still in the die, turned it over and put some sticky tape on just so that I'd got a base layer with the pieces in, which is this one. In fact, I tell a lie. It's not quite this one. That one is the one on the bottom. I have put an additional layer on with everything except those little inserts. So there's 2 layers there apart from these little inserts. So why I stuck them back in is to just give me a base to build on. And what I intend doing is having this first layer, and that is going to be the final layer for the tail. I'm going to put another layer over here because the body is going to be further forwards than the tail. And then I've got a head to put on the top because the head will be further forwards than the body. So just to build him up a little bit. So here I've got all the bits to put in at various stages. Now, yesterday I took delivery of some new marker pens. I ordered the marker pens from Nuvo, and these are they. They came in 3 pots, which I immediately started fiddling around with. They were all mixed up. So I've put them together in kind of, as much as I can, in tones. They came with a little paper insert that you could colour in so that you'd know what the colours looked like once they were on paper or card. But I intend making another one of these, a bit like my distress ink chart, like this, so that I've got the actual card that I use so I could see what the effect of these various colours would be. When I made this card, I used Copic markers for his fur, but I am more limited with the number of colours that I have here. So it was kind of tricky for me to work out what colours I would need to put together and even how they worked together, to be honest. With the Copic markers, I can easily put down a dark colour first, then put a lighter one over the top and it'll blend the dark one in. When I started to do that with these, it didn't work so well. And I think I would need to start with a light, put a dark on and then blend it again. So it's kind of getting used to what I have to do. I suppose it's a bit like when you colour your hair. Either you put it onto wet hair or you put it onto dry hair. The manufacturer knows which way it works best. So I discovered that, as I say, it's easier to start with the lighter colour, put some shading on. Now, to get fox colour, what did I decide to use? I think I decided to use brown sugar. There's brown sugar. So I used that as a base layer. And then what did I think would go with it too? Let me get the brown sugar. Yeah, that's that chap. So brown sugar to start with. And then, was it plum tomato? Well, I can find out again. God, let's try plum tomato. Is that plum tomato? It is. Let's see. I'm going to get a bit of scrap to work on because alcohol markers do leave a mark that is more difficult to get off than a water one. Let's just get a bit of scrap paper here. Okay. Now, I've left those bits out because I want this bit of the brush, of the tail, to be a lighter colour. So I'm just going to go over all the lot to start with, what did I say, the brown sugar. Use the broad tip. Let's just go over everything. Okay. We get foxes coming into our garden, actually. I don't know where the den is. We also get badgers. There's a set just up the road. Although I haven't seen them for a while. But the urban fox. Okay, I can go over everything. Get a bit of colour onto my card. This card is just my linen, normal linen card. Nothing special. Well, it is special. It's a very nice card, but it's nothing special for colouring. Okay, let's try some of this tomato. I'm going to put this down to the sides, or do I need to put it over all of it? Let's put some of this over all of it. See if we can get that lovely red of the fox. Then I can put some darker brown shading on. It is interesting. I don't know what I'm colouring all this for. It's probably because that's not going to show, but the tail will be finished. Right. I'm just kind of working out the colour, really. Let's get a bit of shading. Now, what shall we use for a little bit of shading? Hazelnut truffle, do we think? I'm thinking this one. Let's try hazelnut truffle. Is that it? That's coconut shell. Hazelnut truffle. Right, let's try a little bit of this. It is interesting, the new products, to find out what they do. Yeah, that's worked quite well to blend the colour in, hasn't it? Right, let me stick another layer on top of him. So here he is, minus his tail, so that he's got an extra bit of depth. I'm going to put some of this on to stick him down. Out you come, there we go. We're going on grandparent duties shortly. I've got to go to Worthing to pick up Cleo from school today. I think her mummy's away at a conference or something, and Dad's got surgery until, I don't know, 6:30 or something. So we're going down to have fun with Cleo. There we go. Turn this over and stick it on. So we're building it up gradually. I don't really need to colour the middle, but the edges could do with colouring so that you don't get any white bits showing at the sides. Actually, I might stick his head on straight away and then just see how we go from here. Let's stick his head on. Just building up a little bit. If you wanted to, of course, you could build extra layers. Okay. There we go. Let's get him nice and lined up, otherwise the inserts won't be able to be inserted, will they? There we go. Such a handsome chap. There we go. Keep sticking to this mat. There we are. Right, I started with my brown sugar. So let's put brown sugar on. Brown sugar. See how we've changed the colour? Going over and over. Put on the, what was this one? Plum tomato. It brings him up to be much more fox coloured, doesn't it? But this by itself is just too red. Right. Now let's put a bit of shading. And for that I used Hazelnut Truffle, didn't I? Here we go. A bit down this side here. Now his haunches and his underneath his tummy, his feet will be a bit darker. Around his haunches here as well. And over his head a little bit. Around the side of him. I think under his chin will be a little bit darker as well. Hope you can see this. I'm not using my watch. I do apologise for yesterday's fiasco. A lot of people were saying that the video was very, very blurry. Well, what had happened, I believe, is the fact that I had started the video going with my Apple Watch on my phone, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't notice that it had zoomed right out. It looked as if almost if it was coming from space. And so on editing it, I brought it into a distance where I thought you could actually see something, and on a small device it looked fine to me, but I imagine people watching on a TV or something like that would find it really, really tricky to see what was going on. Right, I'm going to insert some of these little bits now. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue into each space. I need a couple of layers in some because they've been built up, but the tail, of course, will only have one in there. Now, this tail, I don't want to just put a plain white bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of colour, a bit of shading, but what to give that's going to go with the colour of my fox? Sweet vanilla looks quite nice, this one here. Sweet vanilla. Here's sweet vanilla. Let's just colour this. Might put a little bit of shading in. Where's the brown sugar? Oops, a daisy. That's brown sugar. There we go. Let's pop this one in. There we go. Right. Similar for the tummy, but I could do with two of those because he is an extra layer deep, isn't he? So I can put one in as is. There we go. And the next one, I'm going to add some colour to. Same thing. Little bit of whatever vanilla, sweet vanilla, was it? Something vanilla? Sweet vanilla. Wonderful. I'm going to put a little bit of brown sugar on the top end of this one. Just a little bit of colour. Okay. Put this one on top of that one. Okay. He's getting there. He is getting there. That's all we're going to do. Now we will need the little bits for his ears, and I'm only going to put one layer for that because it'll look like they're kind of recessed a bit, I think. And I think I might just leave them white. Or should I? No, I'll use the vanilla again. I'm going to use the vanilla again. I don't want my sunglasses. I better put my specs on to see what I'm doing here. Which bit's which? There's a skinny one, which is that one. Let's just put that one on. That's the side I want. There we go. And the other ear is there. I know it's difficult for you to see, but we're getting there. I imagine all alcohol markers are sort of similar. Obviously, there are different types of nibs, but I imagine the actual products themselves are fairly similar. Now, I think I could do with 2 lots of these because his head is got the most layers, isn't it? I'll put one right in. There we go. And this one right in, and then we'll put a coloured one on the top. There's that one. And we need a nose, don't we? Where's his nose? Here's one. I don't think I put any glue in his nose. I can only see one nose there, actually. Okay. Let's put this nose on. It's on the end of my tweezers. Okay. Now I just need another nose. Surely to goodness there's another nose there. Let's just get the 2 ears. I didn't want the 2 ears, I wanted these bits, didn't I? 1 and 2. We'll colour that in this sweet vanilla. Let's do it the other way. Limiting colours always sort of helps, I think, really. If I hadn't got so many layers, I would probably have kept these in the die itself to add the colour, because it does help to keep them anchored. Okay, let's put this chap in. There we go. And the other one of these. I'll just colour that. Oh, did I do it there? Did I colour it? Yes, I did. Already done it. Haven't got any glue in. Okay. There we are. Now, I've got to find a black nose. I don't know where the other nose is. There were 2 of everything up there, but I can't see a nose. There's not one in there. I'll cut another one. Let's just do quickly, get another nose. Oh. There we go. Here's his nose. This particular die, the pieces are quite tough to get out, and I actually, when I first cut it out, I had real difficulty getting it out. So I lined it with some wax paper, and the wax paper really helped to... There's his nose. Okay. Now, if you look at him, you can see that you can't see his eyes anymore, can you? I think that the answer to that one is to redraw them. So using a jelly roll, here's one. I'll give him the white of his eyes. There we go. Might give him a little on his nose as well, a little. Now I should really wait for that to dry, because if I try and put the black on for the pupil, until that's dry, it's going to be a bit awkward, really. So that's kind of how I did him. I don't know what I think about these pens. Time will tell what happens, but quite like them. I think it's just a question of getting to know the effect that the different colours have, you know, that it's quite sweet. Yeah, I think I might be able to do the black now. I think he's just about dry. There we go. There's Mr. Fox, ready to go on another card. I've got a bit of background here. Put him in the woods. So that's all I was going to do. I can go and get my suitcase now, put it in the car and pop off down to see Cleo. So as ever, thanks for watching. Do subscribe, do hit the like button if you could, and enjoy more of my videos. Thank you so much.